So, I hope you liked that track. That was a quick track I came up with while I was playing around with the Boss SY1 synthesizer. And I thought I'd quickly run through what pedals I used and how I did it and how I, set it all up and made those sounds happen. So, the way this works, I've got my guitar running through these pedals and then stereo out straight into my Audient ID44 interface, so no amps were used in this, and straight into Logic. So with all this bypassed, it's just a very straight, clean, dry guitar sound. So on the SY1, I sort of flicked through the different sounds on there, and I went to one of the sequences in this variation number 9, and it sounds like this. You can get rid of the dry guitar signal as well. And it kind of follows, there's a bass line and it's a drum loop. It's really cool and it follows what the guitar does. Now I wanted a bit of dry signaling. Now that then goes, actually the delay, the DD8, which I actually really love, which is on the shimmer setting that's in the effects loop of this. So there's an effects loop and that's in that. So it goes from that straight to this pedal, which is the RML Retro Mechanical Labs Clean OverdrivR. There's a video for that here. Which I really like that sound with synths. So I use it actually when I use like drum machine and mono synths and stuff like that. I use that a lot because I really like that sound. So actually, hang on, let's turn that off. So this is the sound it makes. It almost sounds like tape saturation to me. Or if you really crank a mic pre or something like that. So it's sort of more like a console, That's the kind of sound. And from that, it goes into the Dimension C, which the Dimension C, it just makes things big and three-dimensional. If you get a chance, listen to this with headphones on or through good speakers, because it just makes it bigger. So this is the sound without it. Just all of a sudden becomes three-dimensional. So now when you add, for example, the Dimension C to this, it does this sort of magic sauce. It's sort of this thing that it adds to this, which is amazing. And now this as well, so I'm going to add that to it. For me, especially the drum part, the kind of drum synth part, it just kind of rounds it all off and makes it more interesting. And now all of them combine. So I'll add one at a time. Just made it nice and big. And then I wanted a little bit of ambience, and I thought the DD8, I love the DD8, it's one of my favorite new delays. And the shimmer setting is fantastic on it, and I tried it in different positions. Sort of I had it after the synth, I had it in between, after the drive, I had it right at the end, because it's got stereo outs too. But I like the sound of it best in the loop. And it sounds like this. So without these, it sounds like this. Now with the drums, it becomes this massive sound, which sounds really, really cool. I really like that sound. And then, so the SY1 has hold feature. So basically, and it's a little bit tricky to do that when you just by yourself, but I'm going to try and do that. When you push the button in, that's why I had it down on my foot before, and now up here just so it's all in one camera. But if you hold it down as you play a note, it actually repeats that and holds it. So it's a... So it kind of keeps playing that loop over. And everything you play now on top of it, it kind of bypasses that loop and just goes straight into these pedals. So if I do that, I'll try that again. so what I play over it just kind of goes through these. It sort of bypasses the synthy part. And then I wanted something that had a real string kind of synth string sound. And I thought, eBow. Basically, I did this thing. And actually, I flicked, for that part, I flicked it up to the rhythm circuit, because just to get a bit of a mellower sort of sound. And I did this thing. Actually, without that. It has a real sort of string sound to me, like a string synth sound. With when you bend the string as well, it sounds really cool. That. It's like you're doing a pitch wheel on a synth. Yeah, and then I did a couple of other things. I changed from, there's two different harmonic settings. So there's one is a fundamental one and one is a different type of harmonic. We did a full video on the eBow a while ago, and you can watch that there. Yeah, so I just sort of played around with the eBow and kind of finished it off like that. But I really like that sound. I really dug the SY1. The other settings too. There will be a full video on the SY1. There's videos on all the other pedals and the eBow. They're all linked below. But we haven't done the SY1 video yet. But once I've done it, I'll put it down the bottom. So if there's a link down the bottom, we've already filmed the video review on it. But there will be one coming shortly if you're watching this, just as the video's been released. Yeah, so that's it. I just thought I'd quickly run through it just to show you how the sounds all happen and what I did. And I really like it. I'm a big fan, actually, of the SY1, the DD8, and the Dimension C. I really like them. They just make things sound really cool. And that's, if you use synths in any way, or drum machines, Retromechanical Lab stuff is fantastic to kind of overdrive it a little bit. So thank you so much for watching. If you like what we do, why not subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment below if you use any of these pedals, or if you've done similar sort of stuff but use different pedals. Let me know what you've used. Yeah, and thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.